Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking and subscribing the channel is free and easy, and it helps me out a lot. If you want to go a little farther with your support, I have Patreon and YouTube membership available, which includes access to the BoshNRoll Discord server, early access to things I'm working on, sideboard plans, cards I'm buying. You could have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use the YouTube membership option, you get sweet, unique YouTube badges and emotes for the channel. If you want to play what I'm playing, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support my channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com. And if you're playing on Magic Online, a cardhoarder.com loan account can let you play any deck anytime. If you want to wear your support, there is BoshNRoll merch available. All of these links are in the video description below. Thank you so much for watching. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome to another BoshNRoll video. Today I'm playing Modern, and at the request of Patreon subscriber Foxicon, I am playing Lantern of Insight Control featuring Urza Saga. Lantern Control, if you weren't playing Modern back in 2015, 2016, this is a deck that I believe Sam Black did a lot of work to develop, and it was among the most hated Modern decks because the plan here is Lantern of Insight, 1-mana artifact, players played with the top of their libraries revealed, sacrifice Lantern, target player shuffles. And you pair that with cards like Codex Shredder, target player mills a card. Cool Color Bell, each player mills a card. Pyxis of Pandemonium, each player exiles the top card of their library. So you put Lantern into play, you know what your opponent's going to draw. If you don't like it, you can mill it, and then they just draw lands or irrelevant spells or things that don't help them for the rest of the game. And the plan is to win with milling. So you can imagine denying your opponent their good draw steps. The game takes forever. It's no fun. Absolutely hated deck. And for a while in Modern, it was actually good. Like, this was a premier, like, tier 1, maybe 1.5 Modern deck for kind of a long time. And a lot of work was done on it, and the deck eventually sort of fell off. I don't remember exactly why, but I'm sure there was a good reason, meta shifts or whatever. And the deck stopped getting played. But now, Urza Saga is printed. Urza Saga, as we all know, if you've been looking at Legacy, Vintage, or Modern at all for the last few months, Urza Saga, the final chapter is search your library for an artifact card that costs 0 or 1. Guess what Lantern Control is built on? Artifacts that cost 0 and 1. Just across the board, here they are. And this is a deck that was already main decking Grafdigger's Cage. It was already main decking Pithing Needle. It was already main decking Welding Jar. This is not a Saga package that was added to accommodate Urza Saga. This is just cards that were in this deck anyway. And Urza Saga adds a tutor ability to the deck. And it also adds kind of a win con, though this is an Ensnaring Bridge deck. Like, the plan is stick an Ensnaring Bridge, and then mill every card that doesn't remove Ensnaring Bridge from your opponent's deck. And then you let them have any creature because you don't care. You can let them have any land because you don't care. You can let them have burn spells within a certain reason. Like, you can let them have a lot of stuff, but you just, like, mill that Prismatic Ending. You mill that Abrupt Decay, so your Ensnaring Bridge just sticks forever. So I don't think we're going to be attacking with a lot of giant constructs, because this is an Ensnaring Bridge first and foremost, but you do board it out in some matchups, and sometimes you don't have it, or this version of the deck does play 4 Prismatic Endings, so you could just remove it when you're ready to kill. But I think we're going to be doing a lot more blocking with our constructs than attacking, but we'll see how that plays out. That's mostly flavor text. This is a tutor package. This is Demonic Tutor for all of the combo pieces in the deck. In the supporting cast, Ancient Stirrings, this is what we had to do back in the day before we had Urza Saga to find the pieces to the combo, and it's still good now. We're going to add to the digging package, not replace it. And this can find Ensnaring Bridge, notably, which Urza Saga cannot. So Ancient Stirrings is great. Discard spells, we want to clear the way to get the hooks in. Once you check their hand, clear the card that interacts with you. You're operating on perfect information. You can jam your bridge, jam your lantern, whatever, and lock them out from there. Surgical Extraction in the main deck might seem weird, but if you're playing against a deck like maybe something like Jund, where Ensnaring Bridge will lock them out of the game for the most part, but they have 3 or 4 Abrupt Decays, you mill one, you extract the rest. Surgical Extraction is also a bonus shuffle effect. If you see something you don't like on top of the deck with Lantern and you're out of ways to clear it, you can Surgical to force a shuffle. That's another thing you can do. Also, since this is a mill deck, in case they have an Eldrazi or something, you can get rid of that. There's a lot to like about main deck Surgical in this deck. Collective Brutality removes aggressive creatures, checks their hand for answers, and helps you get Hellbent for your Ensnaring Bridge. Perfect card for the deck. This was a new printing when Lantern was first hot on the scene. Like, Burn was a really bad matchup for a while, but then they printed Collective Brutality, then they printed the... I don't know what this cycle is called. The lands that... The fast lands, I think is what they call these. And that helped, so you don't have to play Pain lands anymore, and the Burn matchup just got a lot better. So this is a deck with a lot of history. I have played this deck before, but not in many years. Not since it was good. And I'm excited to get back in here and try it. My number one opponent will be the Moto Clock, but let's see how this stacks up against the present metagame as well. Let's do it. I'm on the draw in the first round, and I think this hand is a keeper. I have Ancient Stirrings. I have a way to clear. I don't have a Lantern. I do have a removal spell. Prismatic Ending is a really cool addition to this deck, by the way. I'm just going to start stirring now. I know what I'm looking for. And it's Lantern. Alright, I found Codex Shredder. That's not the Lantern, but it did get me 5 cards closer. We'll get there eventually. But now the jig is up. There is no deck that would play this card other than the one that I'm playing. Opt in the end step. You got it. Another fetch land. My opponent has all original printing and old border cards. I assume they are very serious about modern. So I'm going to give them that credit. I cannot exile Ren this turn. I can exile Ren next turn. The question is, do I want... I think I want a Codex first, and I want to start shredding myself, because at some point I'll get to 5 mana, and I can pick up a card from my own graveyard. Right now I'm digging for a Lantern. This game isn't going to go very far if I don't find a Lantern. Oh, found one immediately. Wish I just drew that, but what are you going to do? So I can exile Ren, or I could play... I can do 2 things. Alright. White, green, exile Ren. Do they want to counter this? I can just cast the other one in my hand if they fight this. Alright, Ren is gone. Play Pixis. Guess I should have played Inventor's Fair this turn for my land and start gaining life. I was likely to end the turn with 3 artifacts in play. They're fetching in my end step. Were they shocked? They got something. This is just Brazen Borrower or Snapcaster. Sure. Snapcasting and Opt. Opt. My Ensnaring Bridge will eventually blank the Snapcaster. In for 2 they come. I don't think I just aggro Pixis. Though, do I? I don't think that does anything important. Each player turns face up all cards they own with Pixis, then puts all permanents onto the battlefield. Okay, that sounds like a huge mistake. I'm going to keep shredding myself. Needle. Okay. I can play Needle. I think I want to name Wrenn and 6, or do I name Castle Vantress? I'm going to name Castle Vantress because that can mess up my future plans of controlling the top of their deck. Yeah, you better counter that. Okay. Here comes another 2 damage. We're kind of under their counter spells at this point, which is unfortunate. Ooh, Field of Ruin. That's going to hit my Inventor's Fair. Shame. I do have 1 more basic in the deck, so that wasn't a complete kicking. I'm going to continue shredding myself. Ending. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can pick up Lantern. I can cash in my Shredder next turn. I didn't draw the land to do it right now, but I am just going to pass here. If they can counter this Lantern, I'm probably just in a bunch of trouble. Picking up the Lantern with the Codex Shredder. Come on, Thoughtseize off the top. Oh, pretty close. See what they got. This won't stop a Cryptic Command, but I'll at least know if my Lantern is good or not. Alright, they had Counterspell. Time to go with Lantern. Okay, Lantern has resolved. Endurance, okay. That's a good reason to Pixis. I don't want that land on top of my deck, and I don't really want them to have Endurance. Archmage Charm, that's rough. That steals my Lantern. I can also remove Snapcaster Mage. This does play into Mana Leak, unfortunately. I'm not sure if that's a card that gets played in Modern anymore. The race to get the hooks in before it's too late is always kind of a stressful one. Like, this is pretty normal for the deck. The trade-off is once you get the hooks in, how crazy good it is. Let's see what they want to do. Like, they could steal my Pixis, and then they control the draw steps. Or they could control... controlling Lantern doesn't change anything. Yeah, they could just steal Pixis. And then they're driving. Yeah, they found the line. That's pretty sweet. Okay, let's do this thing. I probably just have to exile that. I don't think I can let them do all that. Another Collective Brutality on top. And I'm going to hit them with discard mode. Oh, just 3 lightning bolts and a Snapcaster. Yikes. Yeah, we're dead. So they bolt, put me to 6, snap bolt. Yeah, I'm just dead. On board. Way too slow to get the hooks in there. The Snapcaster Mage did enough damage that the Flurry of Bolts can finish me off. Fair enough. This is a matchup I want Thoughtseize for. Torpor Orb seems like it's probably reasonable. Am I going to want Blessing? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to mill me out. Orb turning off Snapcaster seems pretty good. I am extremely interested in clearing their hand, so that's why the Thoughtseize is coming in. Does anything else change? Grafdigger's Cage does stop Snapcaster. They have Wrenn, which is a good reason to want Pithing Needle, but I have Saga that can get it when I want it. Prismatic Ending is also an answer to Wrenn, but I don't think I need that many answers to permanence. Ensnaring Bridge is always important. I'm going to keep that in the full boat. And I think I'll cut another ending. Or maybe I want more ending and less Pithing Needle. Oh wait, that's not enough cards cut. Didn't I bring in 3 and cut 3? Is this a 61 card main deck? Oh god, it is. I didn't even notice that. Great. 61 card special, and we go. On the play with a Lantern. We're keeping it. I hope this is green on the back. It is. Okay. Keep this hand. I could lead on a Thoughtseize. Though I can Lantern this turn and then Thoughtseize next turn. Okay, and I am going to get started on Saga right away. This deck has the extreme added value of doesn't care about constructs, so you just want to get your tutor in right away. They drew a Wrenn, they have a counterspell on top. If I can get ahead of the counterspell, I won't care about it anymore. I want to play this on black mode, and then I'll play Talisman, and then I'm going to Thoughtseize right now while the getting's good. I don't think they can counter a Thoughtseize right now, and I know they have counterspells coming. Wrenn, snap. I'm going to take the Wrenn. I'm going to have to deal with Snapcaster Mage eventually anyway. I can tutor up Grafdigger's Cage next turn. Let's see if they want this counterspell. The Talisman's a really nice technology. These were not in the old version, but since you're sacking your Saga a lot of the time anyway, it makes a lot of sense. There's that island. I'm not going to make a construct, even though I could. I'm just going to float mana and get Grafdigger's Cage. They didn't fetch in response, but I don't think that matters. I'm not going to just spike their Flooded Strand. I think that is a lot worse than other things I could be doing. So Shredder's on the stack. They can counter it. I have another one. I guess I should have Thoughtseized and then Shredder. Yeah, I could have done that a lot better. Alright, the counterspell's gone. The other Shredder's in. And I'll Thoughtseize one of these Snapcasters out. I think I'm more worried about Snapcaster than Opt, just for the ability to attack for damage. Just not interested in playing that game at all. They're drawing Lonely Sandbar, which is fine. They can cycle that and pick up that Endurance if I go for a mill. Endurance is not really a card I want to play against. I also don't really want to draw Blooming Marsh. But if I can force them to take some sort of action that they're not ready to take, that's okay with me. Like if they'd rather spend their mana other ways, if they just let Endurance go away, that's cool. Running 6 on the top. Yeah, I really wish I Thoughtseize that Snapcat or that counterspell last turn and got 2 codexes in. Now if they activate Field, they lose their Wrenn. They're probably thinking about cycling their Sandbar right now to get the Wrenn in hand before I can get rid of it. They're deciding if they want Wrenn. Yeah, Wrenn picking up the Lonely Sandbar every turn is a pretty powerful play here. No Marsh and then Stirrings. I already have a Lantern. If I can find another... Ugh. That's a lot of lanterns. I think I want the Academy Ruins. Though I have no blue mana. Alright, Academy Ruins is not on the menu. Though, I could have blue mana eventually, and I think this is better than a second Lantern. And they're all better than Welding Jar, that's for sure. Alright, I'm gonna take the Ruins. Saga on top of the deck. Not sad to see that. And they can draw Hinterland Harbor, that's cool. Opt. So there's no way to respond to Opt. Like if they bottom a card and then draw, I can't mill that card in between the point where they're bottoming and drawing. They're probably just going to jam Wrenn in 6 right here, get their Lonely Sandbar. Yep. Sandbar on top. And now I'm just kind of taking my time. Wrenn is stressful to play against, but that's okay. I'm not going to mill a card that I don't care about. I only get 1 control, and if I just like aggro mill the Scalding Tarn, then end up losing to like Cryptic Command or something. Oh, great. Yeah, that's the Opt thing I was talking about. They just snuck in Engineered Explosives into their hand, and now I'm going to lose. Bummer. Okay. Wrenn in 6 and Engineered Explosives and Opt. I don't think Opt was in the format. I don't think the card was legal when Lantern was big. Like, Opt does change a lot of things. So Field of Ruin is gonna move stuff around. They have a Nature's Claim on top of their deck. Their deck is really good against Lantern. And obviously, Lantern is kind of a goofball deck in general, but their build is just really good against it. There's the explosives on one. Wrenn bought back Field. Played Field. I don't really want to have to play through this Nature's Claim, but I don't have a lot of choice in the matter. Alright, I don't care about Veil of Summer. Do I want to mill Spire of Industry, or is this my way back into the game? Because Spire can... Or no, I won't. I will have 1 artifact still. Yeah, I think I have to draw this. Though they have the field looping. Yeah, I think this game is lost. I am actually just going to concede. I'm locked out between the Field of Ruin and everything else. This deck is extremely well suited to fight us. Wrenn in 6 is a beating. Lonely Sandbar looping Wrenn in 6 is a beating. This Engineered Explosives has me beat already. Like, that was a rough showing. I wonder if I Thoughtseize the counterspell and get double Codex earlier, if that changes anything at all. But yeah, this deck is just a rough matchup at all. Like, oh, on to the next round. On the draw in round number 2. This hand doesn't really come out blazing. It does have Ensnaring Bridge and Inquisition to check it. Expedition Map for Saga can eventually find a Lantern. I am keeping this largely for science. Like, all of the rules about... Okay, now we know exactly what we're dealing with. I'm glad I kept an ensnaring bridge hand. Oh, and I found a Saga right away. That's great. So I play this. Saga can get the Lantern eventually. Now my job is to just get my hand empty. Milling both players could be dangerous because Lava Dart is a card in their deck, but it'll be okay. Alright, just taking one. I wonder if they're going to light up the stage. Yeah, okay. That seemed like a pretty low amount of damage to be dealing. Land, Lightning Bolt. Those are all castable. Another Mage. I am just going to start belling. Gonna have to win this game eventually. Ding dong. Obviously, I know Collective Brutality, just the best possible card that I could have drawn. It's cool. These things happen. Okay. I'm gonna play Spire, Talisman, and I think that Inquisitioning them is more important than getting the Lantern in right now. Like, if I can just knock 5 damage out of their hand. Okay, the Dart is eventually good. They go Swift Spear. Next turn I can go Forest, Lantern. I'm actually several turns behind. Okay. I think I can win this game on the play, but being on the draw is no bueno. I guess I am getting a Saga trigger this turn as well. Oh, maybe I need to make a Construct. Am I just dead? I can't count this high. 3, no, 9. Alright, I'm going to 9. And maybe making a Construct is actually the play. It just puts a pretty large body in play, and then I can go land. Yeah, I think I like that. That's better than just letting them do whatever they want. Oh, Mox Opal got banned. That's one of the things that happened to this deck. I was like, what happened to this deck? And yeah, Mox Opal. That's what happened. Grafdigger's Cage, I think, has the most relevant text. Like, just turning off the second half of the Lava Dart could be valuable here. They can go ahead and draw a mountain. They have another mountain on top. They have Swift Spear, Lava Dart, mountain in hand. So if they play Swift Spear, they can attack for 6 and they lose a mage on the way through. And then next turn, it's going to be hard to get Hellbent. They didn't play their... Oh, no, I took a Swift Spear from their hand. So they have a mystery card I don't know about, Mountain, and Lava Dart in hand. And they're drawing a Mountain. Oh, they said, oops, they clicked through combat. Okay. I'll take it. I'm not too proud. I need everything right now. That misclicked combat step might be the game. Might be the difference maker. We'll see. So I actually do want this land. I do want Expedition Map in play, and I want Ensnaring Bridge in play. I am likely to be able to get Hellbent next turn. Prismatic Ending can exile one of their creatures, but I don't think I care about that. They're bolting me end step. Did they actually have lethal last turn? I think they did. Do they have lethal right now? Okay, they're drawing this mountain. They can have crash through. If they cast it, their creatures can't attack, so I don't care about that. They have Lava Dart, which can put me to 1. Okay, so the Grafdigger's Cage is keeping me alive right now. And this now becomes the frustrating part of playing against Lantern. I guess I actually do need to mill, because if I cast Prismatic Ending, I lose, and if I don't cast it, I also lose. Being at 1, like, all of my mana is painful. I guess I could draw it, Expedition Map, or... Okay, yeah, I think it's okay. Like, I want to leave them with Swift Spear. I don't want to mill their card, is the problem. Alright, cool. I don't think that actually helps me, though. I can map for one of the pain-free white sources. I think I want a Stirrings first, though. Alright, I found a Shredder. Can I do it all? So I play Shredder. I map for the pain-free white source. Yeah, I have exactly enough. Any order on the bottom. I have another Lantern. So I 1, 2, map. There is a pathway, the half-white pathway. Play the front half, Prismatic Ending, the Soulscar Mage, play Shredder, and the hooks are in. Now we just have to make sure they never draw a spell when I'm at 1. Welcome to Lantern Control. And now we wait. Yep, don't care, don't care. Now we're just clicking. I'm gonna shred myself because I don't want to draw this talisman. Another shredder is welcome though. Finding Inventor's Fair would be great. That would gain me a bunch of life. But mostly don't care. Manamorphose doesn't matter. Kiln Fiend doesn't matter. Now nothing matters. They cast their Manamorphose. It draws the Kiln Fiend that I also don't care about. Mountain on top of their deck. Don't care about that. I don't want Pithing Needle. That doesn't do anything for me. I'll take a Shredder. Every Shredder you draw is eventually gets to pivot into a win con. When you're ready for it. No rush. Okay, Lightning Bolt. That's the type of card I need to mill from their deck. Mill you. A Swift Spear. Unfortunate. Okay. It seems like that turn they click through is going to cost them everything. I am at 1. That attack would have been good for at least 1 damage. Guaranteed. I shred myself. I don't need this swamp. Shred myself. Don't need this land. Lantern. Don't really need that either, but I'll take it. Not going to complain. Saga's pretty great. I can pivot into aggro at some point. Like when I have enough shredders that I think I can reasonably control their draws, I can just start zapping them. Because I do need to deck them eventually. The problem is if I get greedy, I could lose as a result. But there aren't many cards left that matter, and I have a lot of mill effects. Don't care about Kiln Fiend, they can draw that for the turn. Another Kiln Fiend. They're so ready. If they ever draw a spell, they're going to smash. But that's not going to happen. Mill, mill, mill. In real life, I would be playing a lot more slowly than this, but in Moto, the clock just matters so much. I'll ring the bell also. Lava Dart on top. Okay. Pithing Needle on top for me. I don't want a Needle, so I'm going to Bell in the upkeep. Lantern's fine. Play another Lantern. Pass a turn. You can see why this deck was so hated in its day. Might still be hated now. I don't know if people still have strong opinions about this deck or not, but it's reasonable to hate it. Make another construct just in case. I've already belled. I'm gonna just continue to aggro mill them. Lava Spikes hit the graveyard. I don't really want Pithing Needle, so I can bell. Light up the stage. Oh, I definitely don't want Thoughtseize. That one could kill me if I draw it, so I have to mill myself here. I have to make sure I can always get my hand empty without hurting myself. Might have gotten too aggressive here. Do I want Saga? Do I want another token? Doesn't matter. I don't think the additional token matters. I'm going to search for a Pixis, I think. Yeah, I'm going to get Pixis in case exiling becomes relevant. And shred my opponent. I don't want them lighting up the stage. That's something I can't interact with, and I don't care about Soulscar Mage. Okay. We've navigated the aggro mill. Soulscar Mage in hand, Bedlam Reveler. That's a card I'm going to get rid of. For sure. End of turn. Oh, that's Lantern. I want Pixis. Let's both exile our cards. They have a Lava Spike, but that's okay. I got a lot of ways to get rid of that. I'll take Urza Saga. Play it. And I'm going to shred them. I kind of do want Ancient Stirrings. It can find Inventor's Fair. Alright, Bedlam Reveler, gotta get rid of that too. Manamorphose. I could let them have that, or I could wait and see what's under it. Is it dangerous to let them have it? Does it matter? Alright, I'm gonna get rid of it. Lava Dart. Alright, let's both exile our top cards. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Each player mills a card. Mountain, show me mountain. Okay, Fiery Islet on top. This is getting dangerous. Just show me a land under the Fiery Islet. Bone Crusher Giant. Alright, I'm gonna have to make them shuffle with Lantern in response to their draw. Target player shuffles. Alright, show me a land. Okay, ooh. Dodged. Yeah, this is why you don't aggro mill. It's just wrong to do in paper, but on Magic Online you gotta get the game over, so I have to play a little fast and loose. Saga gets another lore counter. Replay this Lantern. They have Lightning Bolt on top of their deck. It's obviously not what I want them to have. Bergie, I don't care about. Oh, they could play Horn of Harnfell. That I actually do care about. Kiln Fiend, I don't. Okay. I believe we're at the point where I can just end the game. They have 11 cards left. I have 1, 2, 3, untap 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, not quite done yet. I'm gonna make a construct in the end step. No good reason, but because I can. To tutor up another Pixis or Shredder, does it matter? I'll take the Shredder. And I cast Ancient Stirrings, which can get... These are just all lands, huh? Lands are cool. I'll play the land on the black side, and then I will pass the turn. They can have Crash Through. That just digs them a card deeper into their deck. The card happens to be a mountain. Okay, they have 10 cards left, and I have more than 10 mills, so they are actually just dead here. Light up the stage, gone. This Graph Digger's Cage actually won me the game. Actually, them misclicking won me the game. But here we are. 14 turns later. Bell. Pixis. Lava Darts on top. Go to my turn, draw. An Ore Waste. And then Shredder. Okay. They see the writing on the wall. It's been a while since I stabilized at 1 with the Lantern deck. Okay, Fatal Push is coming in. Trophy, Decay. I think Elixir is more for mill than it is for gaining life, but it does also gain life, so I'm going to take it. Graph Digger's Cage was actually pretty important, and I expect they'll be able to remove them in the post-board games. I don't want Thoughtseize. Inquisition is still okay. Pithing Needle does very little. I think I might leave 1 in to name Fiery Islet and just turn off redraws. But it doesn't have a lot of hits in this matchup. I'm thinking I might want my Welding Jars. Like, they're going to bring in ways to blow up Bridge, and as we saw that game, without Bridge in play, the game's over. Don't want Surgical Extraction in this deck. I do like Prismatic Ending. I do like ramping out, getting my hand empty faster off the talismans. Obviously need all of these things. Maybe I do just go down to 0 Needle. Oh, there's another Surgical still in the deck. Yeah, that's the cut. And then bring in removal, life gain, and ways to protect my bridge. That's the plan. And here I go. Okay, have a Lantern, have an Inquisition. This hand is actually a pretty great start. It has the stupid needle, though. But I will take it, I guess. Soulscar Mage. I'm going to play the black side of this card and Inquisition them. Let's just get a look at what's going on over there. Swift Spear, Lightning Bolt, light up the stage. I'm going to take Swift Spear. I don't actually have a lot of answers to creatures right now, and the creatures will deal more damage than the spells over time. Oh, they drew a Swift Spear. Perfect. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to take 2. They're probably going to light up the stage. Yep. The stage has been lit. Fiery Islet, Engineered Explosives. Well, good thing I have this 1 of Pithing Needle, I guess. I'm going to name engineered explosives. That might seem weird because their board is full of 1-drops, and if they blow in explosives, then they get hurt too. But that they're not going to explode this turn, and they can sit this and play till later and just wait until they need to remove Grafdigger's Cage and then win easily. They have Lightning Bolt and a Braid. This is rough. Being on the draw against this deck is a nightmare. You need Collective Brutality pretty early on, both to get your hand empty and to buy the time, gain the life, remove the creatures. Okay, so they're exploding for 0 for the prowess triggers. That makes a lot of sense. Well played. Are they gonna flurry their burn spells at me right now? I think they should, yeah. Get that damage in while your prowess creatures can still attack. Oh, I'm actually just dead. This is the turn 3 goldfish from prowess. I took Monastery, Swiftspear, tried to deny them that, but they had it anyway. And we're dead. Yikes. Okay, we get to be on the play this time. Needle is good to know about, or it's good to know about the engineered explosives because that does make Needle a little better, but I don't think it makes it good enough to actually bring in another copy of it. Welding Jar does the same thing as Needle, but better because it also stops a Braid. And yeah, that's just the plan. On the play, oh, this has everything I want in it except the mana. I am going to keep it though. I can go Land Cage, which turns on my Spire for Ancient Stirrings next turn, or for Prismatic Ending. If I just draw land, this is the white talisman. So there's the upside is here on this hand. Land. Okay, nice. Bang, bang, talisman. Maybe I should have collected Brutality that, but whatever, here we are. Prismatic Ending's pretty good too. Okay, that was a good start. Manamorphose. Crash through. Oh, did they just have the one creature? Alright, another one. I'm gonna escalate Collective Brutality once. And I'm gonna discard, I think, Welding Jar to do it. That'll let me know what I need to find with Ancient Stirrings. The target opponent reveals their hand and target creature gets -2/-2 are the two modes I want. I don't think I need the Drain and Gain mode if I'm controlling the board well enough. Black, colorless, discard Welding Jar. Oh wow, no hits in this hand. Bummer. Well, that does mean the hand's going to be good against, or good for Ensnaring Bridge though. I'm gonna pick Urza Saga and play my land for the turn. They could just jam Burgi right now. That's pretty wild. Or they could save Burgi to be a Horn later. They played Mountain and Burgi. Okay. Backup Cage. I think, yeah, I just deploy my hand here rather than make a construct. I'm just going to get my bridge in. If they have the Abrade, if one of their last 2 draw steps. Oh god, Shrine of Burning Rage. That's a cool card. Haven't seen that one in a minute. I'm going to need a Pithing Needle for that. They're drawing a card right away with their Fiery Islet. Trying to keep things going. This is actually going to be a tough call. Oh wait, I think I am supposed to make a construct here, because it seems likely, or at least I have to acknowledge the possibility, that they will remove my bridge. I could get Welding Jar right now, or I could Needle and answer this thing that I can see in play that's killing me. It's actually a pretty tough spot. I think I'm going to get Needle and name Shrine. Shrine of Burning Rage is turned off. I have no hooks in at all. I'm not looking at the top deck. Nobody's getting milled. This is a full-on top deck war. So they're stomping me. Sure. Stealing some damage. Makes sense. Getting their hand empty for this eventual Bedlam Reveler. Get to play the other half of Bone Crusher. You got it. Alright, deck. I need, like, Inventor's Fair pretty soon. I don't hate Fatal Push, though it's not really doing anything super helpful. Light up the stage is real good here. 2 lightning bolts, perfect. Shit. Yeah, those 2 lightning bolts, they do a bunch of damage to me. They're free because of Bergie, and that fuels up the Bedlam Reveler, which is definitely going to show up next turn. I'm just taking my damage here. Bedlam Reveler, get wrecked me. See how much damage this thing is good for. It can't attack, but drawing 3 is a huge problem. A Swift Spear, you got it. I love Swift Spear because it's not a burn spell. They can attack with Swift Spear, but I have the blocker. Stirrings, okay, let's go. Find me some action, maybe? Found a Shredder. I'll take it. Shredder does some important things. I can start shredding myself and eventually draw cards, or get a card off of it. If they find a Braid or whatever, I just lose until the point where I can do anything else. Okay, so I'm gonna block Swift Spear. See how many spells they have. I have the Fatal Push. I take 1 from that. How many spells are we casting here? Another Lava Dart. I do have to take 1 from the... Like, all my black sources are pain sources, unfortunately. Fatal Push that, I'm at 6. Dead to 2 bolts. They draw a card with Fiery Islet, and played another creature. Perfect. I'm gonna shred myself. Shredder hit Shredder. So back down to 1 card in hand. Does not appear to be a Braid or I would be dead. Let's draw a Lantern and close this game out. Map, okay. That will be a Lantern in 2 turns. I map for Saga. I could also map for Inventor's Fair and get it a little faster. Is that true? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'm 1 mana short of that. And I think the life points matter less than... Like, constructs are not irrelevant on this board. If they can break my bridge before I get my thing, I'm just dead by a lot. So, like, gaining 1 life off Inventor's Fair is not important. Another Shrine, okay. Pithing Needle doing work. Glad I left 1 in. You never know. I think I'm going to stop shredding myself now that I have Saga ticking up. That was an excellent draw. Ensnaring Bridge is now protected. I can get Lantern next turn, and then it's a matter of just winning in 8 minutes, which could be a problem. Uh-oh. I'm at 3. Yeah, the cards in their hand do still matter, unfortunately. For 1 more turn. Reveler, shit. Okay, I've probably lost. There's a good chance that Ancestral Recall will deal 3 damage in their deck. In which case, Inventor's Fair would leave me at 4, which maybe is something I should have thought about. I could have 1 more life if I had gotten Inventor's Fair. Alright, they have a Braid. I'll regenerate the bridge. That happened just in time. Crash through. Oh, we're going again. This is either an epic slow roll, or they really don't have another bolt. Light up the stage, fuck. Lava Dart, okay. I'm at 2. Other passing priority. We're in second main. End step, I'll make a construct just in case. And I am going to shred them. I have the cages, I'm not worried about anything else. I just have to win this game now. Draw for turn. Make another construct. Get Lantern. I now have some insight. Lava Dart doesn't literally kill me, so I think I have to let them have it. I'm at 1, but they have cards that deal 2 damage and 3 damage, so I have to let them draw this thing that deals 1. That is all 4 lava darts, so there's nothing left in their deck that deals 1 damage. They either have me dead with the card in their hand, or they don't. And that's it. A Braid on top, I'm gonna have to mill that. Shred you. Manamorphose. I don't have to mill that. Gotta play my land. I mean, the Morphos will, when they cast Manamorphose, it'll show them, I'll see the card when it's on the stack. Okay, I'm gonna have to mill that. I just hope there's not a burn spell under it. They actually could have locked me out of this game, because I only have 1 Shredder. If they just waited till their next draw step, if I shred, they Manamorphose in response. If I don't shred, they draw Engineered Explosives. If they were just a little more patient here, they actually have me locked. Okay, don't show me a burn spell. It's Sunbaked Canyon. You have Sunbaked Canyon now. Swift Spear underneath it, okay. It's all good stuff. This Inquisition will let me see their hand, so I'll know for sure whatever the leftovers are. They just have the 1 mystery card on top of the Lava Dart. Inquisition you. Getting darted in response. So many triggers. I'm at 1. Mountain is their card. Okay. Let's go. Time to win this game 1 card at a time. Got 6.5 minutes to do it. They're drawing Swift Spear. They can draw Manamorphose. I'll take the redraw on that one. Okay, Mountain. They can have that. Swift Spear's in. If they just hold that Manamorphose, they will eventually checkmate me. Until I find a second mill thing. I'm gonna mill this Swamp. I know their top card's not good. Their hand is Manamorphose. I need to find more mill rocks at this point. Inventor's Fair, fuck yeah. Gaining life doesn't matter at this point. All of their things that can deal 1 have been spent, and just getting another mill rock is going to be worth so much more. Let's speed this game up and help control that Manamorphose. I'm going to get Ghoul Color Spell because that can also help control my draw steps. I'm not sure if that actually makes any sense. Maybe it, like Codex Shredder also controls my draw steps, so maybe that was just nonsense I said. Another Shredder on top, that's nice. They have another Mountain on top, that's also nice. I am not going to shred them. I have to make sure, like, especially with the Manamorphose, huge confounding factor to how aggressively I want to mill them. I don't want Concealed Courtyard, which turns on Ghoul Color Spell. I don't care about Kiln Fiend. Yeah, I'm just not milling anyone ever. Or certainly not both of us. I have a Lantern on top, they have Kiln Fiend on top. Light Up the Stage is actually pretty good. They're playing the Kiln Fiend. I have to mill Light Up the Stage because that is a way to shred through cards in their deck that I don't get to look at. They just jump right into exile where they can be played. And this is dangerous. Now we're in that who blinks first with the Manamorphose thing. Alright, they blinked first. With me at 1 and their deck full of burn, they should be a lot more patient here. I'm gonna mill us both. I don't really want another Lantern. Okay, they can have another... Oh, nope, that's Horn of Harnfell. I can't beat that. I actually have to mill that too. Okay, they can have Crash Through. Yeah, the back end of Bergie is messed up. Okay, then they have a Swift Spear under that. And now we're doing work. I'll take this other Lantern, it's actually fine. It's not worth milling myself over, even though I'm not, like, mega excited about it. 5 minutes on the clock, should be plenty of time to mill 14 cards. Lightning Bolt. That's a good one. Oh yeah, they have to Crash Through. I have 3 mills and 2 shuffles as necessary to blank their top of their deck. Gonna ring my bell. Manamorphose on top. Yep. Let them have it. Mountain underneath. Take it. Patience, patience, patience here. Any slip up could cost me the game, so I'm just gonna do my very best not to make one. The Shrine of Burning Rage is on 36, by the way. It could almost win an EDH game. They have a mountain on top of their deck. Not milling. If there's a Pixis I can pick up with Ancient Stirrings. I think I'd rather have Shredder. I don't think it matters, but I like Shredder better. Shredder better. I just like saying Shredder better. Another mountain on top of their deck. Take it. Not milling. Pathway, play the black side. I already have white mana that I don't need. Lava Spike on top of the deck. Alright. Just about go time here. There's the Manamorphose. So I'm going to mill us both. See what happens. They have 8 cards left in their deck. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 mills. So if there's a land anywhere in their deck, or in the top half of their deck, we win. If they're just 8 burn spells, we lose. Okay. We get the mountain here, and then I mill other 4, then I untap mill 4, and then they're dead. Unless they have some secret technology. Anti-mill tech. Yeah, now I just put my foot on the gas. Mill them out. Mill, 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 mill. 3 cards left in their deck. And they saw it. Stabilized at 1 twice, and beat Mono Red Prowess. Shrine of the Burning Rage, over 40. Could win an EDH game on its own, and we did it. That's some Lantern shit. Glad we got that one on camera. We're about halfway through the video, so let me just remind you that if you like this deck and you want to try it out, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com, and you can play any deck anytime with cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. These links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the draw, and I think we're about to push to the limits what this deck's capable of. I'm keeping a hand with only Urza Saga for mana. Also, if you hear crazy sounds behind me, there's a thunderstorm booming, and I apologize for the noise, but yell at nature, not me, sorry. Okay, so they have an Arid Mesa fetching Savai Triome. I'm going to play my Bell and just aggressively start milling. Kaya's Guile, okay. The Surgical Extraction incentivizes me to just aggro mill at all times. Stoneforge Mystic, that's a good one. Time to draw a white source off the top, I guess. I should specify a white land. The talisman won't help me here. Uh-oh. Ring the bell. They did get Kaldra. That's probably the smart one. And off we go. If I can get this bridge into play, that's enough to stabilize the Kaldra. Also, a white source will still remove Kaldra, or remove the Germ, and buy time, but I'm about to lose my only land, and without Mox Opal in the format anymore, this Saga is gonna hurt. Yeah, I don't think, without drawing a land, that there's actually any way to do this. Are they shocked? They have a Thoughtseize. Prismatic Ending my Bell. Okay. Prismatic Ending definitely made this deck a lot worse. I mean, I'm playing it, which is cool. Wow, you hear that thunder? I think that's just the ominous tone that this current board state encourages. I'm going to get a Lantern. There's an Inquisition on top of both of our decks. That's fun. Play Academy Ruins. 1 mana short of getting this Ensnaring Bridge into play and maybe having a chance to stabilize, but I can't win this game at this point. RIP. Maybe that concession was a little early. I have 2 turns to draw a white source and exile Kaldra. Yeah, it wasn't happening. Not that I could have known that, but yeah, that one just went sideways a little too quick. Right, Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy, all seem like things worth having. Torpor Orb. Do I want that versus the Stoneforge deck, or is more Needle better? Probably more Needle. And actually probably like Thoughtseize here. Welding Jar doesn't matter that much because they have Prismatic Ending and not any of the other things they could have that would remove my permanence. Brutality kills Stoneforge, so I do like that. I don't think I need the Surgicals here. I have Pixis and or just Pixis. I have Pixis if they have something like Emrakul or some anti-mill tech that I need to worry about. Do I need 4 Pithing Needles? And probably. If it's not for the Stoneforge Mystic deck, then what's it for? Maybe I don't need Brutality if I'm bringing in Decay and Trophy. Like, I think that's just a better version of the same card because I don't care about the other 2 modes and I'm never going to escalate it in this matchup. Alright, this is what I'm going to do. That was a keep for science. If we find a land in our first several draw steps, I think we're actually good there. But we just didn't. Whoa. I'm going to keep. Really sorry about all this background noise, but Mother Nature is angry. I can lead on Shredder or lead on Stirrings. They're a discard deck, so that's going to be like kind of rough either way. But I think I want the Shredder first. Because if they cast a discard spell, I want to make them wonder between Bridge and Stirrings. I don't want them to be able to just easily take the Lantern I just got. Okay, this doesn't... Ooh, that casts Stony Silence possibly next turn. I'm going to mill myself for the future probability of another... What am I trying to spit out here? Another Shredder to manipulate my graveyard. I'm going to pay the life. Okay, there's Lantern. And they did a good job exiling that card. They did a good job drawing Inquisition of Kozilek also. Let's hope they don't have a black source somehow. Ooh, they didn't have a black source. That's going to sting. Let's wiggle this Ensnaring Bridge in while the getting's good. And this Prismatic Ending deck is probably going to just be a problem regardless. And them exiling my Codex Shredder on turn 1. Very smart. Well played. Now I don't have hooks in, but I do have information. Kaya. Sweet Jesus. At least I have the decay for that. I would rather this in the graveyard than in exile. And I don't actually want to draw Prismatic Ending because my hand is already mono removal. Okay, so I can decay green, black. I guess I didn't need to take damage for that. I'm just playing loose. That was the damage I didn't need to take. Whoops. Another Shredder. They get me Hellbent. Turn on my Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, I've seen Kaya's Guile, so I shouldn't be aggro milling myself, actually. That makes a lot of sense. If they could just shred my graveyard, or exile my graveyard, that's a big L. And if I'm not shredding me, I should be shredding them. Alright, Stirrings, let's go. Find me the money. Alright, found some money. Lantern. Okay, now I can control draws a little bit. Oh, they have Prismatic Ending right away. Third one of those they've seen. Maze Mind Tome, insane. Kolaghan's Command on top of the deck, that sucks. They can Maze Mind Tome, pay 2 right away, draw the K command, and then I'm just in trouble. Ooh, but if they let me untap, or they just know how to play this better than my previous round opponent did, where if they just get to their draw step, they can do it. Okay, here's Saga. Ooh, they tap their Tome. Nobody knows how to play against this deck anymore. And I love it. Do they have a Cycle land, or like another way to draw a card at instant speed? Oh, okay, no, they were just shuffling the card away. Oh, Chandra is going to be tough. I'm still not messing with that. I can get a Pithing Needle. Like, it's not worth shuffling away my land, or sacrificing my Lantern to get rid of Chandra. Alpine Moon? Okay. Alright, Saga. Everything's getting worse very quickly. This deck is full of great answers and lines up poorly. Even back in like 2016, when Lantern was a top tier deck, Jund was your worst matchup because they had Abrupt Decay, Call of God's Command, a Quick Clock. Like, they were discard spells. They were just attacking you on all the angles. And this is basically a Jund deck. That's what we're doing right here. They have different colors, but it's Jund. They're going to name Urza Saga. Urza Saga will die right away. Oh, they named Academy Runes. They tricked me. Why? Does that even make sense? Does that matter? I don't even have blue mana. Alright, I'll take it. I think that was wrong, but I'm not going to complain. Oh, they had Wear Tear to destroy that anyway. Okay. I guess I can't concede. I have to let that happen, and then I'm gonna mill myself, or no. Thoughtseize and Kaldra sounds great. Yeah, I'm gonna Thoughtseize them. They have Chandra, Kaldra, EE, Jesus. Alright. I will fear concede to this hand. I'm just not beating it, and the games I win are gonna take so long that I'm not gonna waste anyone's time with the games I'm losing. This matchup, phenomenally well prepared to defeat Lantern Control in 2021. I'm on the play in round number 4. I don't think I can keep this hand. It does have a fast ensnaring bridge. Maybe I will keep it. It has half of the Lantern Miller combo and the ensnaring bridge, which is the most important card. This Academy Ruins has been pretty awkward. There's like only Spire of Industry in the whole deck that can use it. I feel like this might be a holdover from when we had Mox Opal that the designer of this deck just forgot to account for. Yeah, there's only Spire of Industry in the whole deck that can activate an Academy Ruins. And if the game gets grindy enough, that will be good enough. But at the same time, ooh, sometimes you just draw the thing you want. I'm gonna play out the white half of this land because I have a bunch of other colored sources of green and black. And the thunder rolls as I cast Lantern of Insight. I imagine they are grumbling over there. I'm not sure if I want Collective Brutality. Guess it'll depend on if they cast Stoneforge Mystic this turn. If they drew Marsh Flats, they have Flagstones on top. See if they play a creature this turn. Inquisition. Okay, they knew that my hand was Talisman and nothing else. They played their Marsh Flats. And I think I am gonna Pixis, because I just don't want this Brutality. Or maybe I do. Yeah, maybe seeing their hand and knowing they're not drawing anything super relevant. Yeah, let's get a look. They did have a bunch of spells. Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, Inquisition. Okay, this actually aren't spells at all. Do I care about any of these? I guess I'll take the Inquisition, because Thoughtseize hurts if you cast it. My deck doesn't have creatures. They have Fulminator Mage as their only way to win the game right now. So if I can keep that under control... They are basically in top deck mode right now. Smallpox. That's a strong card that I don't care about. Yeah, I don't have a hand, I don't have creatures, I don't care about this Academy Ruins. Marsh Flats, they'll probably just play their Fulminator Mage and start attacking. Bloodchief's Thirst, don't care about that either. I'm a little worried about this 2-2, I'm not gonna lie. That may seem silly, but you all saw round 2 and how long that took and how quick the life points melt away. Okay, no longer worried about a 2-2. They can sack this to destroy my Saga, but then they don't have their 2-2 anymore. Deal. Still don't care about Smallpox. Don't care about Bloodchief Thirst. I'm going to be stable at 18 life with a Pixis and a backup lantern. 2 backup lanterns. And go ahead, enjoy your Smallpox. Don't care about Batterskull. I don't think they're going to have 5 lands to do that with. Or are they letting me trigger my Saga? Cool. Alright, Saga has triggered. They're going after this, okay. Okay, it hasn't learned its lesson yet, that's what's happening. Okay. So this pops, then this resolves, then I make a construct. The construct gets mopped up by Smallpox or Fatal Push or whatever, but I'm still gonna make them cast it. Doesn't hurt me. No skin off my ass, as they say. Fatal pushing me means they're not planning on smallpoxing me. I also think it's really interesting that they went after Ruins instead of Saga. That's the second opponent who's done that, who just like thinks Academy Ruins is important when it's not. And I guess I don't blame them, that does seem like a powerful card. they just don't know that it actually sucks in this deck and probably maybe shouldn't be here, or maybe there should be some more blue sources somewhere. Unclear at this point what the true story is about that card. Okay. Now they are facing an 8/8. They're going to have to smallpox themselves, but the flagstones really does clean that up a bit. Maybe I want to shred them. I don't want to make their smallpox too easy. I want it to cost them the game if they cast smallpox. Yeah, there we go. With Batterskull in their hand, we gotta find some ways to tread water. There's the Silent Clearing. Bloodchief Thirst, sure. I don't care about Thoughtseize. I do want my Bell. I'll just keep drawing cards here. These are the hooks. This is the type of matchup where my opponent just has a bunch of creature removal and shit that doesn't matter at all. If they find land number 5 for Batterskull, and they can Thoughtseize this Prismatic Ending out of my hand. It's pretty rough. Unearth. Don't really want them to have that. Fulminator Mage. I think I can Pix this here. Or maybe I'm supposed to Bell there. Doesn't matter. I don't know. I do want another Cody. A Codex Shredder. I'm gonna ring the bell. I don't want this land. I don't want them to have Stoneforge. Okay. Too late. Plague Engineer. That is a creature. So I'll activate Pixis also. Eventually they'll draw a blank. They can have Flagstones. I'm gonna have to beat this Batterskull, which could pose a problem. Oh, that's not... Or maybe that is true. I just have to be aggressive about milling myself to find relevant answers to Batterskull. And I have to do it around Thoughtseize. Like, I'm not going to be able to leave an answer in hand and do stuff later. Okay, they're smallpoxing. Does that matter? I don't think so. I'm going to sacrifice the Blooming Marsh because I only have one white source and I do have a backup. Oh, I'm drawing Thoughtseize. I can take the Batterskull. Never mind, I'm sacking the white source. Get out of here. Yeah, duh. I'm like, literally have Thoughtseize on top of my deck, and I'm like, I need to dig for an answer to Batterskull. Sack their Flagstones. Do they have a second Smallpox in hand? I don't think they do. Pretty sure they shuffled away one of them. Oh, they're a Mardu Pox deck. That's fun. Oh, wait. I still should have... My brain's all over the place right now. I'm still supposed to sacrifice the Marsh because I do have another black source. I just like threw away that white source. And nothing that I said or did, or the Smallpox or the Thoughtseize on top of my deck, nothing actually changes that. Okay, I'm gonna have to Pixis that Lingering Souls. Thoughtseize my opponent. Take Batterskull. Okay, they did have a second Smallpox, they just didn't have untapped mana, so Batterskull's gone. Activate Pixis. That's why it's important to have some of these in the deck. Right, they can draw a Godless Shrine to go with their bunch of nothing. Oh. Plains is fine. Do I want to ring the bell? I don't think so. I'll just draw. Now we're just in control deck mode. The hooks are in. Their hand is functionally empty. I have a million millers. I can impact the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards of their deck. I'll ring the bell here. I don't want them to have Centramore Witch. Don't care about Inquisition. Grafdigger's Cage will lock out future Lingering Souls. Are we having fun yet? I am. I am just gonna sort of aggro mill them right now. I don't expect them to have anything I super care about. Mill a couple Stoneforges. There's Lingering Souls. I'll draw the Grafdigger's Cage. Play it. And then I can Pixis. But I kind of want the Shredder. I'll just shred them. See what I have to do. Or another Souls. Grafdigger's Cage showed up just in time. Pixis would not have been able to control both of those Souls. Mill them till we see a land is the plan here. There it is. Okay, they gave up. I appreciate tapping out when you know you're beat. Save us all some time. Okie dokie. Playing against Pox with Lingering Souls. This deck is likely to have Kaya in it. I don't know if I need more answers to Kaya on top of the prismatic endings. We saw prismatic ending out of them, which makes Welding Jar worse than normal. I'm not sure that Welding Jar... I guess, like, there are decks that just don't have white in them still. We did beat in a braid with Welding Jar earlier today, so I won't cut Welding Jar yet. I'm just recognizing that it is not what it once was. Back in the day, we couldn't just exile any permanent willy-nilly. I don't think I want Gaia's Blessing for the matchup. Pithing Needle. I do like the Thoughtseize, like clearing endings out of their hand is nice. Brutality could kill a Stoneforge and exile an ending on curve, so maybe that's good. Is that better than Fatal Push? Maybe it is. Maybe just having that as an answer to Stoneforge is good enough. I know they have Lingering Souls. That doesn't necessarily mean I need all these surgical extractions. Do I want the backup Cage in case they get rid of one of them? I have Surgical and one Cage that can fight Lingering Souls. Plus, Ensnaring Bridge eventually checks it as well. Okay, I'm gonna go in like this. I have a hand with no lands. I'm gonna mulligan it. Oh yeah, let's go. This is where I lose very quickly to Alpine Moon, but I'm ready. I have to bottom one of these cards. I think I'm going to send the Expedition map. They're going to have a discard spell of some variety here. Let's see if they want to take my discard spell and execute their plan. If their plan is Stoneforge Mystic, I have it covered. We'll see. I imagine they'll take Inquisition. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to play Saga and cast Shredder with it. I want to get this Saga ticking, looking for that Lantern eventually. If they do have Alpine Moon and just get to him to Turok me, I'm probably going to lose the game as a result. But here we are. Another Thoughtseize. This one's got to take the Ensnaring Bridge, I imagine. Because both of these answer Stoneforge Mystic, but Bridge also answers every other card in their deck. Another Shredder. I think I play Saga and just lean in. Okay, Saga. I'm just going hard. Shredder. I'm going to name Kaya with this Pithing Needle. I'm going to look up real quick, make sure Urza Usurper is the one that I actually want. Yes, okay, just making sure. They have Flagstones. A Smallpox here would be pretty devastating. They would get to wipe out this Saga, discard this land, and then I sack my other Saga, and I'm literally just winging a prayer, top of the deck. Okay, I'm not getting Smallpox to this turn. Stoneforge Mystic, yep, powerful stuff. I'm gonna mill them twice, just on the off chance that I mill Kaldra. They have more Lingering Souls in their deck than Kaldra's, so this might be kind of insane, but I'm doing it anyway. Okay. Didn't get punished or rewarded, just strictly neutral interactions there. I guess that's not true. We've seen Unearth in their deck. If they unearth this Fulminator right now and blow up my Saga, that's just a complete blowout. Okay, Welding Jar off the top. Float mana with this one. Tutor up. I could just get another Needle and name Kaldra. Or name Stoneforge Mystic. You don't name Kaldra. That's bad. Alright, Pithing Needle. Name Stoneforge Mystic. Gotta stay alive long enough to do any of this other stuff. And then this Saga will tick up, learn a new trick, run out Welding Jar, and make a big ol' construct. Alright, here's a 6/6. Let's go. Okay, Urborg does now let them Smallpox. I guess they had the Triumph anyway. Smallpox it is. Yeah, let's go. Let's live in this world. I'm gonna sack the non-Saga land. Going down to 0 mana. Dangerous. Extremely dangerous. Maybe insane. Maybe wrong. I'm willing to accept all of those words. Let's draw Lantern or Pixis and then play the other one. Okay. I did not draw Lantern or Pixis. I'm gonna get Lantern out of the deck here. They have Sword of Fire and Ice on top. I'm drawing some lands. Okay. I have control over the top of my deck and the top of their deck right now. I'm going to be looking for Pixis of Pandemonium to make sure I can stay ahead of Lingering Souls. Fulminator Mage, okay. That's going to be rough with that Sword of Fire and Ice they just drew. Okay, time to start shredding myself. Prismatic Ending, not what I'm looking for. Courtyard. Alright, I shredded myself twice, ended up in the same spot. Oh, there's Pixis. We're doing it. I can try to mill them off of lands, because they have enough mana right now to cast and equip Sword of Fire and Ice. Yeah, I think I just have to, like, try to take them off mana, which is such a weird thing to do, because if I take them off mana, then they have spells. Alright. Couldn't get there. They're going to connect with Sword. I'm going to die very quickly now. Yep, there's the sword. Did I bring in my Abrupt Decays? I did not. Okay. Bad times. How many hits can I take from this thing? Not very many is the answer. Yeah, if I were able to mill through the lands, they draw Kaya's Guile for 1 turn, I get my Pixis in, and then I can try to set up a bridge for the future, but yeah, I think the ship has sailed. Maybe I should have milled Sword of Fire and Ice just out of respect of any creature. Ghost Quarter on top of their deck. What am I drawing to? Pithing Needle. The thing's already equipped. I don't have the mana to Prismatic Ending. I'm just gonna take my draw step here. And let's do this thing, I suppose. I take 6 this turn, I take 6 next turn. I technically have 3 more draw steps. Go to 7, draw, I go to 1, draw, 2 more draw steps. Nope. Oh, I just let them have Stoneforge Mystic. I was busy doing math and forgot that Sword also draws a card. Splat. Kaya's Guile, okay. Alright, now I'm dead next turn. I let them get a whole turn on me on the clock. They just search for Batterskull. I don't think Stirrings does anything. I don't think anything does anything, because I don't have 3 mana, and Ensnaring Bridge is the only card I actually want. Oh, Brutality could gain 2 life. And then what? Then just die anyway? Yeah, I'm definitely just treading water here. Okay. I've lost this game. I let the sword go through on the bet that they wouldn't have a creature to put it on, but they did have a creature left in their hand to put it on. I think I could have won that one, or I definitely could have played it differently. I think Decay and Trophy are things I want now that I've seen the robustness of the Stoneforge package. I don't want Welding Jar, it's just not going to matter. And I do like the Needles. I'm not sure if I need 4. If my mana is under constant barrage, maybe I don't want Prismatic Ending. But Prismatic Ending's easier to cast than Abrupt Decay and this Essence Trophy, so maybe that is not a good argument. Fatal Push is another thing that I could just have to stay alive early on. Do I need Surgical Extraction? I don't think so. I have a lot of other ways to check Lingering Souls, and I'm gonna lean on them. Alright, I am the Pox deck now. I'm gonna keep this hand. And my plan is to collapse whatever they're trying to do, and then get my own hooks in. I don't have hooks yet, but I have perfect mana. I have extremely disruptive hand. Gives me perfect information to operate off of. Here's the Thoughtseize. They did mull to 6, which also helps, so Thoughtseize even better. They have their own Thoughtseize. Sedgemoor Witch Surgical. Okay, so they have multiple points of discard. And the Surgical is going to 2-for-1 me either way. I just have the 2-for-1 special here. I guess I'll just take the Sedgemoor Witch then. Make sure I don't lose the game to a creature. Like, they can Inquisition me, take Pixis, and then Surgical Thoughtseize and get an extra card. And I'm not sure Surgical's getting better than that. But we'll see if they want to take that line, if they want to be that aggressive, or if they want to save it for later and hit a Saga with it or something. They took Pixis. So they're gambling that they are a better Dead Guy L deck than me, which is almost certainly true, by the way. They did not Surgical my Thoughtseize in the draw step, so I do get to cast it. Lantern was a pretty good draw. Okay, Surgicaling my Pixis in response to Thoughtseize. Nice. That doesn't matter at all. I mean, that was one of my answers to Lingering Souls, so that does matter a little bit. Saying it doesn't matter at all just isn't true. But it's not great. I'm going to take the Smallpox, play my Lantern, and if they want to Thoughtseize a Collective Brutality out of my hand, that's fine. Well, they found Lingering Souls right away, but I found Ensnaring Bridge right away. I hope they just fire off this Thoughtseize before the bridge gets on the line. Actually, this is just bad. They have the Souls, they have the Pox. I am going to get shredded out of this game. I'm going to discard their Thoughtseize. Like, if they want to... I'm going to need Ensnaring Bridge eventually. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is actually getting pretty bad. It was a good start, then didn't find a third land. Yeah, they're just going after the Smallpox. A lot of respect for that. Okay, I'm never playing this Ensnaring Bridge under these circumstances. So I can discard that. They discarded Lingering Souls. I'm going to discard my white source because I have more green spells that are also more important. I'm going to Needle Stoneforge Mystic. I'm drawing a Shredder. Their hand is Smallpox. Or no, they have no hand. Their hand is Stoneforge Mystic. So I have to aggressively keep them off lands with Codex Shredder. Ugh, this is going to be ugly. Or no, I don't. I have to mill myself and get myself back into the game. I actually think I'm ahead until they find another mana. If they keep drawing spells, I'm actually good. Like, that Cauldron on top of their deck is a welcome addition. Ancient Stirrings, happy to see that. Okay, Stir Up. And that finds Spire. Or is Bridge more important? No, I need mana before I do anything else. I'm going to put Spire in my hand. Another land on top for me. Another spell on top for them. Keep it coming. I will take my land in this particular situation. I'll mill a Talisman. I don't actually want that. Highest Guile. You can have it. Lantern Control. Just magic as Garfield intended. I'm gonna mill myself again. I don't want that. Snaring Bridge. Put it in my veins. Now I don't even care about the Lingering Souls if they do draw a land. Now I have a very different priority of what I need to be controlling at this point, and it's answers to Ensnaring Bridge. I just don't need to mill anyone right now. I could start milling them and try to get this game over, or I could just draw cards and keep it moving. I'm gonna Stirrings. Blooming Marsh, Talisman. I think I want Talisman against the Smallpox deck. Urza Saga on top. Yes, please. Alright, I'm feeling pretty good about this game. Lantern Control. Also, for what it's worth, I'd just like to point out, I think if they didn't cast their Smallpox, they'd be doing just fine right now. And now I'm going to try to keep them off lands. I draw Saga, play Saga. I'm going to Brutality them for Drain 2 mode. I'm not giving them a target for their Inquisition. Just Drain 2, gain 2. That gets me Hellbent moving forward. We got the GGs in the chat. And they're out of here. They know what this is. It was ugly, but most wins are with Lantern Control. On to the final round, playing for the positive record. I'm on the draw with another one of these. No colored source. No action, but On turn 3, I will have the hooks in. I don't think I can actually keep this hand. I think I've learned. Like, science has been conducted, and the answer is no. And this also isn't great. I am on the draw. I have Pixis. Saga can get Lantern, so the hooks are there. But there's no good line to this Ensnaring Bridge. This is another mulligan. Okay, we have a keepable hand at this point. I'm going to keep this and send... I think the... Is it the discard spells? I think it's at least Thoughtseize. I think I want all 3 lands for Bridge, and I think Stirring is probably better than Inquisition. I can cast Inquisition. Okay, I'm going to bottom the Stirrings. That white land is also a black source. I figured it out. Copperline Gorge. This is probably some busted suspend deck. I'm going to lead on Inquisition. And then I can Saga the next turn. That means Saga won't sack itself. Yeah, I was right. It's a suspend deck. It is... Okay. Living End is an interesting deck to try to mill out. Desert Ceradon's been milled. Or rotated. Cycled. Whatever the fuck that mechanic's called. Saga go. Play Lantern. At least this way I will know if they draw a payoff. Or Ensnaring Bridge is going to be a hard one for them to beat. I don't know if they main deck Ingot Chewer. They have lands in hand. Okay, there's a Demonic Dread. So I am going to have to get this Ensnaring Bridge into play. They're just like spewing off right now while they still can. The Saga ticks up. Do I play the second Saga? I think so. Might as well get to work on that, right? And then Ensnaring Bridge, and hope that they can't reasonably beat that in the time they have in the main deck. Cycling their Rex. The cards I've seen do not beat Ensnaring Bridge. They're fetching, which causes a shuffle. I don't care about Shriekmaw. I am not going to make a construct. I think the mana is more valuable right now. I think if I just get Welding Jar, I can shut it down. Like, how many answers to Ensnaring Bridge are they going to have in the main? Talisman's in, Spire, Shredder. Okay. So I have the Lantern, the Control, the Bridge. All the hooks are here. I'm drawing Surgical. Is it time to start casting Idiots and hoping for the best? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the plan. I'm gonna mill them because I don't think I care. I suppose I'm not using the mana for anything else, so just in case, I will... Oh, they can't cast Demonic Dread if I don't have a creature. That's actually worth a lot. Hold on. I am not going to make a construct. Grafdigger's Cage, by the way, does not interact with Living End. That's why I'm not getting it. Grafdigger's Cage says creatures can't enter the battlefield from graveyards or libraries. Living End exiles all the creatures in your graveyard, then puts them into play from exile. So do not use Grafdigger's Cage to try to beat this deck. I'm just going to get another Shredder. And just pass the turn. Sit on this Surgical Extraction. If at any point I see a Living End on top of their deck, I can mill it and extract it, and then they don't have anything anymore. We're just playing Shards of Alara Limited here. I am just moving in on the mill. Just hyper aggro here. There's a Living End. Okay, so I can mill it and extract it, and then I don't think they can really win anymore. Their Lantern. And I don't even need to extract the Living End now. I can just wait until they try to Cascade. Casting Street Wraith, you got it. Just continue milling you out. Get to draw Inventor's Fair. Love that card. It's the old Demonic Tutor plus Never Lose to Burn split card. I'm actually going to stop in their draw step where I can exile this living end if I want to. They have a living end in hand and in the graveyard, and one in the deck, so they play 3 total copies. I'm just going to check their deck list for outs. Desert Ceradon, Grief, Shriekmaw. Yeah, they actually can't win this game. They have no removal for a bridge. Neither in their hand nor their deck. So yeah, I'm just gonna turbo mill them out from here. Just always tap my thing. God, what is this window? How did this happen? Oh, that's the top of their library. Okay, got it. Alright, yeah, so they're just playing to the clock, I guess. This is fine, whatever. I'll take my time milling you out, I don't mind. Start gaining life from Inventor's Fair. Archfiend of Ifnir, -1 counter. Yeah, that doesn't deal damage. If that had like a -1 and they lose 1 life, I might have to respect it, but as is, I don't. There it is. The Mighty Archfiend. The mightiest creature that I don't care about at all. I'm gonna mill myself, I don't want Thoughtseize. Draw Spire for turn. Pass. I can cast Prismatic Ending for X = 0. Like, you can cast it on anything, it just only exiles it if you paid the correct number of colors. So I could get my hand empty at any point, this is not a problem. Okay, another big creature's in play. You got it. Alright, Expedition Map's a good one. That gets Urza Saga, that eventually tutors up another Miller. I could use my Inventor's Fair at any point to do the same thing. I'm just not doing that, because I don't think it matters that much. Okay, here's Saga. Let's go. This is not exactly thrilling magic once we're winning, unless you're a complete sicko. Which, if you are, power to you. No judgment from me. But I wouldn't blame anyone who wants to fast forward the video to the next game. Another horror. You're going for the high score of most irrelevant power and toughness on the board in the game of Magic. One time long ago, I was playing Lantern Control in a paper event, and I was playing against Banteldrazi, and they had 6 mana Elspeth in their deck, but they were locked by Ensnaring Bridge, and Elspeth had ticked up and emblemed something like 6 or 7 times. And they had just like hundreds, maybe thousands of power and toughness in play, but they couldn't win and they died anyway. Another Codex Shredder. Play my backup bridge, even though I've already seen their deck. I know they can't answer the first one. The sick joke here is that Urza Saga, I think, is beating their board with constructs, even if I didn't have them locked out with the bridges. There's 3 more cards in the bin in the end step. Play a backup Lantern, pass a turn. End step, Milia for 3 more. It's weird that Magic Online has 1 Lantern over here, and then a pile of 2 over here. Glad I noticed that. That might have confused me later. Or if it mattered more, or in any way at all. I'm gonna let them have Grief. I kinda want them to discard this card from my hand. Just make sure Ensnaring Bridge stays gold. I do believe it is time to pop my Inventor's Fair, though. Just speed this game up. I don't want to draw that Thoughtseize on top of my deck anyway, and getting an extra Mill Rock will go a long way. I'll speed this up a lot. I think I want Pixis, just in case. And we've seen their list. I don't know why I keep saying just in case, but it's possible I missed something. Just respect the random Gaia's Blessing in the main deck. Play the Swamp, play the Pixis, pass the turn. I don't begrudge anyone for playing out games against combo and control decks on Magic Online, but like, this does not take that long. They're genuinely just wasting so much time right now. If they think they can time me out over the course of 3 games, sure, but I don't think they can. I don't think they realize how fast they actually die once the hooks are all the way in. And I'm not going to Pixis because I actually do want Ancient Stirrings. Stir. Try to find another Mill Rock. Didn't find one. It's okay. Oh, Raging Ravines in this deck. That's cool. I would want all my lands to come into play untapped in my combo deck, but what do I know? I'm going to Pix this in the end step because I actually don't want that card. And they are dead here. I have 4 mills to their 8 cards. They're out of here. They're dead right now. Draw Ensnaring Bridge, and then mill you for 4. See you later. I don't believe we saw an Endurance anywhere. That one would actually be a huge beating. Waste a lot of my time. We still win, but we'd have to go through their deck again. Okay, go. And they're dead, finally. 14 minutes on the clock, plenty of time to win again. Necromentia. This is search their deck for a card other than basic land. I can name Living End with that. I think I like Thoughtseize. I definitely like the Welding Jars. They're going to have Ingot Chewers or some way to, or the new green Naturalize Elemental from Modern Horizons 2. They'll have something like that in this deck. Void Mirror, yep. They can't Living End with that in play either. About time Void Mirror did anything. Grafdigger's Cage doesn't matter. I'm going to cut it. And I don't think Prismatic Ending matters. I'm going to cut that. Like, I can't actually exile any of their creatures that are in play. Pithing Needle can name a cycling creature, I guess. Like, you can turn off cycling, but I don't think that's where I want to be. I think I'd rather have an extra surgical there. And do I want Blessing in my deck? Is that important? Get Elixir. I'm just looking at these Pithing Needles, like, what's the point? Okay, I'm gonna bring in the things that I clearly want, and I will leave the things that I may or may not want until I have more information. If we need to play a game 3, I'll know more by that point. Yep. I wish this had a green mana, but the Thoughtseize Surgical hand against the combo deck could just rip Living End out of their deck right now. Make them play Shards of Alara Limited some more. Okay, found the green source. Easy mode. I am going to Thoughtseize, because if they don't have the Living End or Payoff, like all their creatures cost 5 or more. Okay, they have both Foundation Breaker and Ingot Chewer, which were the cards that I was talking about. I'm going to take the Foundation Breaker, I think. Then I'm going to pass the turn. I can stop them in their next draw step and exile all of the Foundation Breakers from their deck. I'm going to Inquisition now. I don't need to run this Lantern straight into Ingot Chewer. Do I care? I don't have a creature, so they can't cast Demonic Dread. I'm going to take the Fulminator. They have 4 cards there. Maybe I'm supposed to cast Ancient Stirrings. Yeah, I'm supposed to play one of my green sources, Thoughtseize off the other one. I don't know what my head was doing there. They cycle Horror. Guess I don't need a surgical in their draw step. There's no rush on any of that. Grief, that's a good one. What did they pitch to cast that? They pitched the Demonic Dread. Fair enough. I'm going to exile the Foundation Breaker. If they do have another one, Ingot Chewer, 2 lands in hand. How many Ingot Chewers are in this deck? 3. Okay, that's a lot of the hate, but it is all the hate we expected. Okay, you get to grief me. Probably taking Ancient Stirrings. Yep, for sure. Right, this Raging Ravine, I kind of made fun of it last game, but I think it's about to show up and do some work. I can continue playing around discard, or I could just not. And I think I would rather play around the Ingot Chewer I can see than the discard that I don't see. Valakut Awakening. Does it tell me how many cards they put back? 2 cards. Okay, so they got... Or wait, you draw 1+. I'm checking the chat log right now, trying to figure out if it tells me what I need to know here. Draws 2 cards with Valakut Awakening. So Valakut Awakening is draw that many cards +1. So they kept the Ingot Chewer, they don't have the Copperline Gorge anymore. Got it. That makes sense. Pixis and... Okay. I'm going to play Academy Ruins, Pixis, and Lantern. They will have to choose their poison with the Ingot Chewer, I guess. There's kind of a long pause there. I think they were reading Pixis. Alright, Ensnaring Bridge, fuck yeah. Now my opponent gets to decide, do you want to blow up my lock pieces or my ensnaring bridge? Cycled Ceradon. Alright, well there's Violent Outburst. Now they don't have to decide, actually. But I can Pixis to exile Outburst. But then I also exile my bridge. Alright, let's see what they do with this. Kind of hope they go for Lantern. Nope. They very smartly went for the Pixis, which I am going to activate to get rid of Violent Outburst, even though it cost me my bridge. A shame, but if I don't do that, they just get to Living End, and then Ingot Chewer. Okay, I'm going to use this to shuffle my deck, because I don't actually want to draw Thoughtseize. Right, they did have 2 Chewers there. Now it's time to rebuild. White Source, maybe? Ooh. Does that help me? I don't think it does. There's no Living Ends in the graveyard. I don't know anything. I mean, it takes some of the pain. Like, if I draw Ensnaring Bridge now, I can exile Ingot Chewer, and then they can't win. But if they combo right now, I'm wrecked. Oh, they just suspended Living End, so we're on notice. The lack of blue mana in the deck currently, a betrayal. No artifacts in play for this Inventor's Fair. So I'm looking for Ensnaring Bridge or Null, whatever. What is that card called? Void Mirror. That's what it is. Alright, so looking for a Void Mirror or Ensnaring Bridge in the next 2 turns. Living End ticks down in the upkeep. They are awkwardly beating down with Raging Ravine now. Alright, they decided they don't want to do that. Probably cycling cards instead. Yep, that makes sense. Come on, deck. Alright, Codex Shredder's here. So shredding, if I shred myself, yeah, they're actually going off next turn, so shredding myself I don't have time to do. I can, okay, I'm gonna have to use Codex Shredder to get Ancient Stirrings back in my hand. Yeah, I think that's the play. I have to Shredder Stirrings back into my hand, and then Stirrings and hope to find one of those artifacts. Yeah. Alright, pay 5 for the regrowth. Come on, deck, help me out here. Let's do the thing. Do the thing. Do the thing. 5 cards, let's go. Did we get there? The window's too small. Bell, Lantern, no, we didn't get there. Do I lose right away? No. So I have Lantern. I can play land, Lantern, and Surgical Extract, Ingot Chewer. At least get those out of here. And then they're gonna Living End, and I'm gonna have to shuffle my deck, trying to find Ensnaring Bridge, because the Pithing Needle doesn't help me at this point. I don't think it ever did, but it definitely doesn't now. And Fulminator Mage can take out my... Oh, they just popped it right away? Okay. I probably would have gone after Inventor's Fair, but maybe it doesn't matter. Okay, 1 shuffle, 1 draw to rule them all. This one is actually kind of fun. This matchup did come out in a good place, all things considered. Oh, they remembered to attack with Raging Ravine. That's unlucky. They started to tap through combat like they weren't going to do it. I think Ensnaring Bridge is GG, though. Like, they actually just are out of answers from what I saw in their deck. The Ravine is so raging. And shuffle my deck. Let's go Ensnaring Bridge off the top. Ah! 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 Lantern Life. This is where I realize I missed something, but there are 5 answers to Ensnaring Bridge in exile right now. Play to your outs, kids. Shuffle that deck. There's bridges still in there. Oh, fuck yeah. Let's turn that corner. Urza Saga actually solo turns on Inventor's Fair also. Just Construct, Tutor, Inventor's Fair is on. My opponent has to be so mad right now. Classic Lantern. Classic bullshit. I'm going to get Welding Jar rather than the second bridge. I don't think it matters, but that does at least diversify for... Like, I've looked at their deck, right? There's nothing else. I was about to say diversifies for Engineered Explosives, but I don't actually need to do that, and obviously that's a card they can't play in their Cascade deck. So, I don't know. Feeling pretty good. Drew a backup bridge anyway. Yeah, let's shut it all down. And I'm just going to get Codex Shredder. It doesn't matter what their top card is, it just needs to be gone. And I can tutor for Lantern in the future. I have the Inventor's Fair that can tutor whenever I'm ready. Milieu. Begin the slow, steady grinding of your sanity. Drew Thoughtseize for turn. I don't think that's a card I need to cast. I'm actually just going to skip the Lantern entirely and get a second Shredder, because I've seen their deck, and unless I miss something extremely important, I just don't care about anything in it. I'm just trying to get them dead now. I think the right play is to get Lantern just in case I miss something, but Moto Clock, 7 minutes to go, I'm just going for the Dome. My opponent's username is Affinity for Winning. I imagine their mana cost is somewhere around 25 right now. They are nowhere near winning. Milieu. Just in case. Oh, were you thinking there was still a game? Just in case. Alright, so they need 4 answers to Ensnaring Bridge in their deck that I'm pretty sure has 0. I'll Thoughtseize them now. Pretty sure that's safe to do. Just make sure their hand doesn't matter. And it doesn't. Fulminator Mage, don't care. They're destroying my white source, don't care. Their creatures are so big that even if I draw all my endings, and didn't I board them out actually? Yeah, I just don't even have white cards in my deck right now. Haha. I'll make them think I do though. Here's my white mana back. Nice job destroying it. Milieu. 21 cards left in the deck. They're on an 11 turn clock. Their Talisman. It is impressive that they're still playing this game. Like, game 1, I was like, yeah, sure, maybe you'll time me out if this match goes long. But it's very clear that I'm winning this game at this point. And they're still here. Oh, they were not on an 11 turn clock. I forgot about their draw step. They were actually on a 7 turn clock. They work through a card in their deck all on their own. After I've talked all this shit, they're just going to have a 1 of Shatterstorm that I forgot to account for, or didn't notice in the list. That's the play. And end step, 2 more cards go away. Off we go. Courtyard into play, pass the turn. They're still tapping mana, still playing spells. You got your Archfiend, good job. It's in play now. That could be anything. That could be Blightsteel Colossus. It doesn't matter. 2 more cards gone. I just draw a bell or something. Hurry up this clock. Alright. Shredder number 3. The clock just sped up. They have 15 cards left in their deck. Or of the Broken Lands. Okay. You have enough power and toughness in play yet. Grief, you got me. Maybe I'm just supposed to be getting F6 value and just milling them during my turn and F6ing. Because I don't think anything they can do matters at all. I guess I shouldn't F6, because I do have Welding Jar in play. Should have screenshotted their list like a pro. They've drawn another card. 10 cards left in their deck. Down to 7 they go. Oh good, Moto is doing a thing where when a trigger goes on the stack, my permanents all move around briefly. That's fun. Alright, Saga triggers. I have Lantern now. Perfect. In case there was a Shatterstorm left in their deck, now I won't lose to it. Monstrous Carabid on top of the deck. They're not going to want to cycle that. They are dead at this point. They're at 6 cards in their library. I mill 3 in the end step, untap, mill 3, pass the turn, you're dead. Then let's just get them for 3 more cards. Haven't seen an endurance anywhere. Saga pops. Not that it matters. My pixies were removed a long time ago. Surgical. Guess I'll just grab another bell. Mill. Mill. And mill. Urza Saga for good measure. Just to let you know I had more. Still had all these. Pass the turn. And that's it. Positive record, 3-2 with Lantern Control. In review, the prismatic ending was kind of cool, but we did have mana problems. I'm not sure this wants to be a 3-color deck, even as good as prismatic ending is. I think we want to be a green-black deck, because you need Ancient Stirrings, and then like Trophy is pretty good. You could just play Abrupt Decay in this spot, and it's pretty comparable. I mean, Abrupt Decay is not as powerful of a card as Prismatic Ending, but I think as far as smoothing out the mana, it would go a long way. Then you don't have to play this weird pathway or this courtyard. Maybe you can get some more blue sources into activate Academy Ruins once in a while. Those are the changes I would make to the deck there. Prismatic Ending being in the format is a huge problem, though. Like, every deck can answer permanents now that they couldn't answer 5 years ago. Like, back in the day, like when Lantern of Insight resolved, it was in play. Like, there might have been some decks with Kolaghan's Command, but that was it. Now, every white deck, you can assume, can just answer it easily in the main deck, or answer Ensnaring Bridge easily in the main deck, and it gets around your Welding Jar, so some of the locks aren't there anymore. Urza Saga was a complete banger, as expected. Never once attacked with a construct. We did block with constructs, or use a construct to defend and stabilize for a turn. I think twice that came up, and that was pretty nice. The core of the deck is all still there, though. Like, we saw the Lantern, we saw the Codex Shredder. We slowly milled our way through long, grindy game after long, grindy game. And the games we lost hard. The games we won hard. There weren't very many close games, other than the one that I had to shuffle my deck and top deck Ensnaring Bridge in. That one was awesome. But yeah, that's Lantern Control. Thank you, Foxicon, for this trip down memory lane. I will probably not be doing this again, but if you're into this sort of thing, it is still viable. Urza Saga is a big upgrade. Just have a plan for Prismatic Ending. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Remember to like and subscribe the channel and the video. If you want to support the channel, there's Patreon, there's YouTube membership. All those links are in the video description below. Check them out. Thank you so much. See you next time.